I wanted to show you some variations, other people doing one stone, so that you know it's not just for little kids. It's for little ones, big ones, ancient ones. I know even when I go to senior centers and I have my little bowl of stones, people love taking the time to choose their special stone. As I told you, I learned this from Thich Nhat Hanh, and he taught it to children. So the very first person I taught it to, after I learned it from him, I went to a family reunion in Kentucky. We're a large family, and my youngest sister Jeannie at that time had a 5-year-old son, Kyle, who is wonderful and very active. So in the afternoon, Jeannie came up to me and said, "Millie, I gotta get packed to go to Jacksonville, and Kyle's driving me nuts. He's just all over the place. Can you do something with him?" So I invited Kyle to go outside with me to the yard, and I said, "Kyle, will you help me find 2 stones? Because I just learned a trick and I would like to practice teaching it. So help me find 2 stones." So he looked around, got one for him, got one for me, and we sat down, stooped down near the old oak tree right by the side of their brick house. And I said, "Here's the deal, Kyle. We're just going to look at this stone and breathe in and out 10 times, looking right at the stone. And if your mind goes somewhere else to think about something, that's okay. Just on the next breath, bring it right back to your breath and the stone. So let's try it." So there I was, squatted down with him, and you know those chubby 5-year-old thighs. He was going, and we did it 10 times, talked a little bit about it, then went inside, and Jeannie said, "Oh, thank you, Mill. I'm packed." So they left to go to the airport. That night, I get a phone call from Jeannie in Jacksonville. "Mildred, what did you do to my son?" I know I'm in trouble. She never calls me Mildred. "Did you give him drugs?" I said, "Jeannie, no, what?" "Well, on the plane, he's usually like running up and down the aisles, bothering the stewardess, doing everything, and this time he was just, had this crummy rock, and he kept looking at it and breathing it." And I said, "Oh, good. Thank you, Jeannie." I saw Kyle 15 years later, and he still has his stone and knows how to breathe with it. Now, I'll tell you about another grown-up, even as these birds and cicadas are making a lot of noise. It's about being able to breathe with what's ever going on. One of my older clients was a guy who was named CEO of a large organization, and his wife was really concerned because he had had 2 heart attacks in his 40s. So she came up to me and said, "Millie, I know you teach stress management. Can you help my husband?" I said, "Introduce me if you want." She did. He says, "What do you do?" And I told him, and he said, "Oh, stress management. I'm type AA personality. I don't have time for that." I said, "Tony," he tells me I can use his name now, "I don't want you to lose your fire. I want you to use it so that you can do the things you want to do and be healthy and be there for your kids and grandkids." Nothing. About a month later, he calls me up and says, "Millie, I have an hour to come into your office. Can you do anything with me in an hour?" So he came in. I taught him the 4 Oasis strategies. It's very quick. He got them. I didn't know if it made any difference at all. About a month later again, I'm walking downtown by the Green, and there I see Tony looking all spiffy in his 3-piece suit. He comes up, "Millie, how are you?" Takes his hand, shakes it. I shake his hand, and he has a rock in his hand. It's the stone that he's been carrying with him all month. I said, "Tony, that's great." And he said, "Yeah, it reminds me to chill with Mill." So that's Tony. Use the stone any way, anytime you want. Take those 60 seconds to just chill.